Welcome to the MFS Wellness Podcast, a hybrid structure encompassing health, fitness, self-improvement, and entertainment, where no topic is off limits and all opinions are graciously welcomed.
Let's get on with the show!
And now, here's the host of the show, Mike Sinopoli.
Welcome to the MFS Wellness Podcast. I am Mike Sinopoli, certified nutrition coach, consultant, counselor. You can call me whatever you'd like. This episode is directed to the body positivity movement that has been pretty prevalent on social media for the last decade or so. If you're unfamiliar with it, body positivity it's supposed to be encouraging for women who may be uncomfortable with their bodies, or men for that matter. It typically involves the overweight, essentially the obese, the morbidly obese, that average body even, something that's kind of counter the Instagram Flex Friday crew and all the people who shamelessly, like myself, who have put up photos of themselves working out in the gym, all that. It's kind of counter that a little bit, it seems, which is fine. What I'm going to go through here really quick is just the pros and cons and my own opinion of it. So to go ahead and say that you're happy with your body at any size, there's two ways to take this. Now, there's healthy at any size, and then there's beautiful at any size. Beautiful at any size is fully subjective. You can't argue that. If someone wants to be 500 pounds of fat, overweight, and call themselves beautiful and believe that, let them. You can't say otherwise. You don't have to agree and think that, and it's probably best to just keep quiet about it and let them be. So, that's a good thing. If they really, truly believe that of themselves inside. If long as they're not lying to themselves and trying to put that out there just as a way of kind of countering the fitness industry, the health industry, the nutrition industry, and kind of throw shade at that and say, I don't need that kind of stuff. If that's their motive, it's probably toxic and maybe needs to be reconsidered. Again, people are free to do what they'd like and think what they want of themselves. And in any way, if it brings them any happiness and peace to body acceptance, hey, I'm all for it. Go ahead. Be beautiful at any size. I will not argue with you. Healthy at any size is a little trickier. I could also argue that the word healthy is subjective. Some people have a different view of what healthy actually is. And I won't go into the multiple facets of what health can be and what it's considered and who thinks what. It's just way too diverse, extensive, and all of that. What we do know, however, is that it is not true. You can be unhealthy at any size. You can be healthy at most sizes. Once they start creeping up into the morbidly obese range, we do know that there are several health issues that come along with obesity. Diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, joint issues, breathing problems, asthma, sleep apnea, other diseases, and such. It's literally an epidemic, and it's scientifically proven to reduce your life expectancy. It just is. And, there's no guarantees. You can do all the right things, be ripped, look great, and be healthy, and be unhealthy on the inside. There's no saying that. You can't really judge somebody's health by their appearance completely. You can get an idea of it, especially the extremes. But you could be average looking and be completely disastrous inside, and it's unfortunate, So there's that as well. I don't like when it reverts to shaming the other side. Basically, my whole thing is keep your body and your image as positive as possible for yourself, not for anybody else. Don't go yelling at anybody else or telling them how to feel. You feel how you feel. If you try to be body positive, maybe you're overweight. Let's just say we have a woman 100 pounds overweight. She wants to adopt this body positivity and be vocal about it, but she doesn't truly believe it. Don't keep going with that. You might be happier taking on a new lifestyle and changing your appearance and feeling better too. You might not feel very well with 100 extra pounds of fat sitting on your body. It's not very good. So be real with yourself. Don't just take it on because you're feeling down about yourself and you want to be included and you're looking to gravitate to a group of people who are also quietly unhappy with how they look, but they're just using the social media platform and hashtags to kind of band together. And what happens there, and we are seeing it, is they begin to fit shame people. And I've seen it. They tear each other apart. They really do. They tear each other apart, the fit people. They go on their pages and shame them for what they do, how they live. And it's ugly. And the same goes for the other way. I don't think a fit person should come out and shame an overweight person for any reason or in any type of body, to be honest with you. I think that's kind of low. I think it's kind of juvenile to judge somebody based on their appearance out of nowhere. Unless they ask you, unless they want your opinion on how they look, then that's up to you on how you respond. But, we got to be honest. We got to be realistic. Okay. Obesity is a problem, and it's a massive one here, especially in the United States, also globally in developed countries and underdeveloped ones as well. And the science is there, so just in general, I don't believe that we need to continue on this path of this body positivity or body shaming in any which way. I just think we need to accept ourselves for who we are at the given moment and do what we want to do. So, keep yourself happy as far as your body goes. Focus on what you do like about it and be real. Just be real with yourself. Don't pretend to be happy with your 600-pound physique, demeanor. That's not going to get anything anywhere, for sure. When you see these kinds of things also, I really think it's best to just steer clear. If you're not involved in it, stay away. Don't shame them. That's just going to bring more attention to it and create a division and more sides. If you ignore something, it goes away. So in most cases, don't quote me on that. In a lot of cases, you can ignore something and it'll go away. And that's the best way to handle it. Or just let them be. It doesn't matter, and then I'll tell anyone, hey, they want to be bikini ready, a bikini body, a beach body, whatever they want. Your beach body is your body. That's all it is. It's your body. And I do encourage people to feel comfortable with how they look in the present. If you have a vacation coming up and you are wanting to go to the beach but feel insecure, that's a hard mentality to break, but it's a rewarding one to break. It's just to be okay with where you're at. And that is true that your beach body, your bikini body, your bathing suit body is just that, yours. It doesn't matter. There is no standard. You don't have to look like other people. You don't have to look like some filtered model on Instagram or on some billboard with boob implants and a spray tan and lip injections and all this shit. So, you don't have to. And if you do want to, go ahead and do it. Who cares? Get all the plastic you want. It's available to you. It does not matter. There's nothing wrong with that either. Let them do it. I just say, if it's not hurting anybody and you want to do it, do it. That's really it. If it doesn't hurt anybody, you want to do it, go for it. That's exactly it. They're getting too much with this body positivity and showing this off. It's not only just that, but it's actually adding more to this obsession with how we look. And I may sound like a hypocrite to you because I have posted photos of my body. My job is helping people to look a certain way. And yes, I can see how you would yell at me and say, "Oh, you're a hypocrite. You're helping people do this and that." A lot of it's to do with their health and their happiness as well. So I do think that all this body image stuff is toxic all around, especially when we're told almost by society we have to look a certain way to be happy. So I do get it. This pushback is a bit against that, which I do agree with. You don't need to look perfect to what society deems perfect in order to be happy. And let me tell you something for sure. This is positive 100%. There are people with ideally just jacked physiques, chiseled, ripped. They look amazing. And let me tell you, they're miserable inside. 2 reasons. A, their day-to-day life is miserable. They don't like their food. They don't like the restrictions they have to maintain this physique, and that is probably hindering their life experiences, and they're too extreme. Also, I can speak on this personally. I do have what I consider a decent physique, and I'm happy about it. I am, but it doesn't guarantee me happiness all the time. Same thing goes for people with money, rich people they call them. There's people with a ton of money, and they're not happy. They're not, and most of us don't understand that. We shun them. They're like, oh, you have all this and you're not happy because we're struggling. It doesn't matter. You can be ripped, rich, look ripped, look jacked, and then just be miserable. It doesn't mean you're happy. Bottom line. Whenever anyone kind of brings that type of thing up, I talk about people like Anthony Bourdain or Robin Williams or maybe a Chester Bennington or somebody like that. Somebody that's kind of in the spotlight. They're looked at as successful. They're looked at as, oh wow, they're actors. They're rock stars. Anthony Bourdain's job was to travel around the world and eat awesome food and meet with great people all the time and be on TV and be a celebrity. I mean, that sounds like pure success, yet he committed suicide. And those who don't understand that can probably, they don't understand the fact that shit doesn't bring you happiness. Not at all. It's nice to have. It doesn't hurt. I mean, it's nice to, if you're depressed and down, it's nice to say, well, at least I'm in good shape, but it's not going to cure your depression. All it is going to say is, well, hey, I'm just glad I don't have 100 pounds to lose on top of this feeling I've got. And, that could happen to something like take the weight in the body aside for Anthony Bourdain. I'm not speaking for this man, rest in peace. But it just shows that you can sort of check all your boxes, reach a certain point that you think this is where I want to be. And then you get there and you realize, holy shit, I checked all those boxes, and where's this euphoric moment of happiness? It doesn't come. And sometimes it does briefly, but that's it. Then you just realize you're back into something else and you never treated what's going on in your head. And a lot of that comes back to the body image thing. And we always think that when we get to a certain point, we're going to be every day is going to be like a child at a candy store and petting zoo day. Like nothing's going to fuck with us. What? It's going to be further from the truth. It doesn't hurt, doesn't help certain things either. So that's where it all kind of stems from and goes. You can be happy with yourself, basically. That's where I do like where they come from. I just do think it's a little bit skewed because it's unhealthy sometimes. It can deter people from becoming better. So I like the fact that the body positive movement will tell people to be happy in their current state. However, I do feel as if that the movement is an inclusion type movement. And when you have people who have this inclusion, they don't want to be lost outside of the inclusive structure. So they will be hindered from going on and maybe improving themselves and becoming, away from that sort of thing and maybe becoming a healthier version of themselves. So that in that case, the body positivity is as holding them back, which is why I don't believe in healthy at any size. So, that's it. I try to keep a very unbiased view of it. I don't believe in body shaming, as I've said many times. I believe in truth. I believe in, hey, this is what obesity leads to. This is where the path you're headed down here. Even I don't like to say that. I won't say that to clients because it's not my place. That's a doctor's place, in my opinion. For me, I'm just, hey, all right, you want to make a change. Usually people with me, they're looking to make a change. So we just look forward from there. We're like, hey, I just tell you, hey, love yourself right now. Love yourself as much as you can right now, because the more you love yourself, the better this process is going to be. Because you hate yourself, you're going to give up on yourself because you hate yourself. So that's the first step. So, so those are the two sides, I think, sort of. That's kind of I like to sit in the gray area with it. Unfortunately, in our society now, gray area, you just get rocks thrown at you from both sides and being called a hypocrite. But hey, throw them all you want, because I'm not going to budge from what I think. So bottom line from this episode, please, number one, first and foremost, love yourself as you are in the present moment, no matter what. understand the health risks of what you're doing, whether it's extreme working out or extreme fat gain or whatever it is. 600-pound people are not healthy. They're not. They might temporarily be fine, but they're not going to stay that way. It's just, we can't keep that up. Our circulatory system cannot keep that up. And their lives are drastically cut short more often than others who have a more regular body composition. So know that health and beauty are two separate things. And that's it. If don't get held up into a mob, don't fall for mob mentality. Do everything for yourself. Forget what others are doing. If you don't feel good at your size, do something about it. If you do, accept the risk, accept what it is, love yourself, and don't shame anybody else that might think otherwise. So, all it just comes down to being all right and feeling good in your own skin. So that's it for today. Again, if you want to reach me and have a conversation for any reason or yell at me, I'm open to anything on social media. The handle is at MFS Wellness. That's either Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. You can send me an email, which is mike@mfswellness.com. So feel free to do that. And until the next episode, we will see you then.